All right, guys. So today we are doing the King Series Energy Check-in. That is what we have scheduled for this week. But because there are more share your stories pouring in, I might try to do that on a weekly basis just to be able to cover all the stories that are coming in, and hopefully more of you send your stories. So expect that tomorrow. Today we're doing the King Series Energy Check-in. We will do a check-in for the King, and then the Queen of Pentacles, then the Queen of Cups, Nine of Pentacles. So they will each have like their mini segment within this energy check-in. And I hope you guys will enjoy the check-in that we have today. Please keep in mind that, of course, these are collective um, readings that we'll be doing. And so if anything resonates with you and you get a lesson or a guidance out of it, that is really the point. And yeah, so we're going to go ahead and begin. All right, so we are starting off with the King, of course, King of Cups, King of Pentacles energy. And we're going to go and get their thoughts, their feelings, and then any intentions or actions. Of course, this is all potential. So let's go ahead and get their potential thoughts at this time. We have two cards. Priestess for their thoughts, coupled with the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, what about their potential feelings at this time? And again, when we do these readings, if you are this King, the aim is, of course, to help provide guidance. If you are either of the Queens, this is more to understand the King at this time. For their feelings, we have the Tower in reverse. And what about any potential intentions or actions? So the Five of Wands and any potential or action that they may have. Bottom of the deck, Five of Pentacles in reverse. Not the best energy. So let's see. Let's clarify. For their potential thoughts, we have the High Priestess and the Knight of Pentacles. Interesting energy. Let's see. Emperor. Seven of Swords in reverse. Okay, so when it comes to their thoughts, okay, let me show you the cards. Okay, well, you know, there's something about how potentially they feel they know what they're doing. They feel the planning or the decisions they've made are to the best of their ability at this point. It's that thing where you try to convince yourself that you're doing what's best, what's right, but then the convincing is a little forced because maybe deep down it's not the best option or the best decision, but maybe it's what you can do. I see there's stress in something that this King is thinking about, but they're kind of trying to stay afloat maybe when it comes to their thoughts, just by trying to be more in a resolved energy in their mind where, you know, if I had a dialogue for this, it would be something like, yeah, that's what I had to do. That's the right thing to do. I mean, there wasn't really any other way, you know, like it's that kind of convincing. And that's kind of how their thoughts are at this time. There's nothing in particular that I'm seeing, but more of a stress in trying to believe that whatever they have knowingly decided to do, accomplish, is the best thing. Okay. What about their feelings when it comes to this Tower that I'm seeing in reverse for their feelings? We have Judgment, the Ten of Pentacles in reverse, Um, these are the cards. Queen of Swords in reverse. So this king at this time with their thoughts, I'm sorry, with their feelings, it's that turmoil you feel. What is that? It's like when you're trying to stay calm on the surface, but then underneath it, there's just a lot going on. I feel like this king, when it comes to their feelings, they're trying again. It's like I feel like this king in the current energy, it's like they're trying to manage everything to the best of their ability. So even when it comes to their feelings, that's what they're trying to do. They're trying not to get ahead of themselves. They're trying not to think too much into the future. So same with their feelings. They don't want to. It's that feeling where it's like I've finally gotten some kind of stability. I'm not going to let myself get emotional, or I'm not going to let myself get triggered, and then I'm going to be having such a hard time trying to deal with these emotions. Like it feels like this is where this king is at right now. A lot of control, well, at least trying to control. Okay. I don't. Okay. I feel like they feel hurt by someone. And this someone could be a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. It feels like they feel hurt by something this person may have said, may have made them feel. If this is if this is somebody, and it looks like feminine energy because it's a Queen of Swords, if this is somebody that has said something to them, it kind of has triggered them, but they're trying not to let it show. It's like, you're not going to affect me by what you've said. So there's some kind of particular incident or conversation that may have happened, which I feel like this king feels like it's very triggering to them. But because they're trying to maintain, a semblance of calm, a semblance of stability that they have finally felt like they've achieved, it's like they're not going to let anything get to them. That's how this seems to be coming up for this king. What about this Five of Wands in reverse and their intentions and actions? Nine of Wands in reverse. Five of Swords in reverse. One more. Ace of Pentacles. Hmm. When if you are familiar with tarot, right? Impressions come off the cards, right? When you're reading tarot, well, for those that read tarot, um, to me again, it's like a struggle. It's like this struggle because I feel like this king at this time could be feeling like they're in a new chapter of their life where things are calm, things are stable, things are steady, but it's like barely it was barely achieved. Like if they achieved it, it was so hard to finally get to this point, and it feels like it's like they're deathly afraid that anything would create instability in their situation. So even with their intentions and actions, there's still that feeling of, well, I'm not going to let this get the best of me. I'm not going to let this overcome me. You're not going to. It feels very particular in the way that they're like creating these defenses against them. So they feel protected enough that they're not going to get emotional, triggered, overthink, because they feel like I finally found this new opportunity, new step in my life, in this chapter. I'm not going to let anybody wreck it. So it's a very defensive energy overall. But I mean, it's protective. And I think a lot of us can resonate with that when we have overcome something very difficult that we feel like it took over our life, and then we finally got our life back, and then now it's like I'm guarding this with my life, literally, right? Like that's how this is coming out for this king at this time. Let's get a little more into it for each aspect. Let's try with the situations oracle to see when it comes to their thoughts. What is potentially the situation? Because it's general in nature, the way the energy comes off, but there are certain situations or circumstances that have made it this way. Intervention. So when it comes to their thoughts, intervention, rescue, others involved. This is the perfect card for this king, because their emotions are like waves. I feel like they had dealt with a very volatile time in their life where finally, finally, I have this calm, and I don't want to lose it. I feel like with this intervention in their thoughts, it seems to me that people have either influenced or helped convince this king to finally get to a place where their thoughts are making sense now. Maybe they had a conversation with someone that helped them see things. Maybe they got specific guidance and that kind of helped them to become wiser. It just feels like there's something external that happened here to help them achieve this like flow of steady thoughts. Okay. So I guess there was help maybe. It feels supportive, the energy. Like I don't feel like it's bad. I feel like it's actually good. Like maybe this king has a support system in some way that has helped them to, find better footing in their life. Because I feel like all this energy that comes, to get to this point, to try to fight for your stability in this way means previously it was oh, I don't know if I'm allowed to swear. It was like this really bad succession of events that it's like if a storm hit you, right? That's how that seems to be coming off. What about their feelings? Drastic, extreme, harsh, cut off. Um, I feel like this king only, it's like they feel like they can only reach this level of stability and sanity by cutting off their emotions. So, like I said earlier, they are trying very hard not to get triggered, not to get emotional. Anything that could be a reminder to them of their emotional instability in the past is something they really try to thwart. They cut that off. They're like, nope, nope. That's like if, it's like if a song was triggering to you and you were listening to the radio. People listen to the radio anymore. But let's just say you're listening to a playlist. Um, and then that song comes on and you're like, nope, 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 skip, skip, skip. I feel like that's what's happening with this king when it comes to their emotions. So, what about intentions and actions? Hmm. Wish. Okay. It says hope, praying, and yearning. I feel like right now, in their intentions and actions, with all of the energy that we see, their only hope and what they actually really pray for at this time to keep their sanity, their stability. That's what I'm really getting, sanity and stability. Like this king could literally, oh, I'm getting it. It could be they're very spiritual. Um, they could literally be praying and asking to help keep their sanity, to help keep their stability, to keep their thoughts intact, to keep their emotions intact. Like I feel like that is something that they actually physically do, right? And I think it helps because it helps ground them in the reality that in their physical body they have that much control. They can create the stability and they can keep their sanity, right? So I feel like that's what's happening with this king. That was quite a lot. Um, we have lockbox at the bottom of the deck. And if you notice, that lock says SOS. Because I think this king really had experienced a time in their life where it's like they were drowning and they needed to be saved. And they finally feel saved enough that they're they're going to fight to keep this sanity, to keep this stability. So that's how I'm getting things for this king. That's interesting. So I think I'm going to close off this reading with guidance from just a sec. Okay. Guidance from Archangel Michael. I do like to use this deck particularly for masculines and for king energies. Um, what is the guidance for this king? So we have one. You guys are not, it's like it says new beginnings and a fresh start. That's literally what this king has been trying to achieve right now. And I feel like they have, but they're barely there, right? Like they've barely achieved it. And I think that's why they are fighting so hard to keep it. So I'm going to read this. And it says, thank you for bringing new opportunities and offering support and for helping me release and heal my past. Fill me with trust as I experience these life changes. So the assurance here for this king is that, this new beginning and this fresh start is actually here. You have it already, right? And it's just a matter of believing and then believing that it is already yours and that you're not going to lose it. That's basically what I'm getting here. And then at the bottom of the deck, have confidence. It's telling this king, Archangel Michael, please lend me your courage and fortitude. Help me realize that I am one with all that is divine wisdom, strength, love, creativity, abundance, and health. Allow me to feel confident and peaceful about myself in all ways. And this is absolutely what this king is trying to achieve. And the assurance here is that you are achieving that. You are to have the confidence that you have actually achieved that. And it's just a matter of keeping that consistency, which this king is trying to do. So that's what I have for the king energy check in. And we're going to go on to the queens now. All right, my lovely queens. Well, we're going to start off first with the Queen of Pentacles, and we're going to do an energy check-in on the Queen of Pentacles at this time when it comes to their thoughts, their feelings, and then any intentions and actions at this time. So let's get a card for the Queen of Pentacles and their thoughts. Queen of Pentacles thoughts. We have the Ace of Cups and their thoughts. Okay. What about their feelings? We have in their feelings the King of Pentacles. What about their intentions and actions? Intentions or actions? Four of Pentacles. Seven of Swords. Let's start off with their thoughts. So in their thoughts, we have the Ace of Cups. Okay. Ace of Cups, again, it is new, fresh opportunity, new beginning in love, a fresh start. Let's see. Okay. So in their thoughts, they think about when the tide will turn. When will the shift happen? When when will all of this end and then a new fresh start begins, right? They've been waiting. They've been waiting for the energy to change in their life, in their connection with this king. This king is in their feelings. Um, they're just waiting, and it's like they want to believe that it's going to change. It's going to shift to something new. That this pain that they keep feeling, this never-ending pain they keep feeling, is going to eventually stop. So they think about that a lot. When is it going to happen? When is it going to be like that? I feel like that's the energy when it comes to their thoughts. What about their feelings? And we do have again that King of Pentacles and their feelings. I'm getting they miss this king. Um, they miss this king. So they miss this king, and I think they miss the part of the king where they felt like, I don't know, trust, safety, security, comfort. They miss that feeling that they had with this king. And when things were great, I guess this king provided them all those feelings of trust and comfort and security. And that's something that they're missing. In fact, at this point, this king, if they were giving that before, it's not that they're doing the opposite, but they feel, this Queen of Pentacles feels so much resistance in receiving those things. And it's like they want this king to take the action that they used to take towards them and make them, and have that feeling back again. But I can see that they are very doubtful that this king will do that. I can see that they see the resistance or sense the resistance in that happening. And it makes them feel weary. It makes them feel unimportant, honestly. It makes them feel unimportant. So, what about their intentions and actions? Four of Pentacles. Yeah. It's retaliatory in a sense, the intention and action that I'm seeing here, where it's like, if you're going to hold back, then I'm holding back too. If you're not going to try, I'm not going to try. I have this star, and I have to cover up this star because, if you're familiar with tarot, um, it's not what they want to do. That's not the intent. That's not the intention they want to have, and it's not the action that they want to take. But at the same time, it feels like, okay, so if you don't want to talk to me, then I'm not going to talk to you. If you don't want to take care of me, I'm not going to take care of you. It feels just very, because they feel, in a sense, they do feel abandoned by this king and the way that they feel, where as before, there was so much comfort, there was so much safety, there was so much love, right? And now that they don't have that, it's their way of getting back at this king, I guess, in some way, to also withhold certain things from this king. So that's kind of what I'm getting with their intentions and actions. So let's look a little deeper. When it comes to their thoughts, we have pop-up, spontaneous, unexpected, surprise visit, TikTok. Um, when it comes to their thoughts with this pop-up card, I feel like they often think about how it would feel like when they wake up one day and everything is just fine. Everything, there's no problems. They are getting along like they were before. They're thinking, what must it feel like if suddenly things change, right? The more time that passes and the more that they live in this energy, the more that it kind of feels like it's not going to happen. It's not going to change. What about their feelings? Commitment. Because even though this Queen of Pentacles is hurt at this time, and their intention and action is to kind of retaliate, the reason that they are all in all of this energy is because they do love this king. They're committed to this king. This is how they truly feel. They have dedicated themselves to this king. And in their feelings, commitment, long-term relationship, that's what they want to have. That's what they want to feel again, right? They want to have that feeling again with this king where once upon a time they shared everything. They committed to each other. Everything was about each other. Okay. Intentions and actions. Okay. Because intentions and actions is more real world, right? It's more reality based. Um, I feel like at this time, what's important to this queen is that this king is providing. Okay. I feel like they, they, it's like they feel like, hey, you have taken away the security. Well, not the, like, when we talk about security, this is emotional security. So it's like, hey, you've already taken away the emotional security. You've taken away my comfort. You need to provide. And I feel like there's a lot of financial stress in the situation that I'm sensing a demand of needing to give more financially for some reason. So this may be a demand or an expectation that this Queen of Pentacles has towards this king to provide more. And this is going to be a little bit specific, but I feel like this demand is, of course, to provide, but also to help ensure that money is not being used towards anyone else except them. So to demand more creates a limitation on this king in their actions and what they do and where they spend, right? It's trying to prohibit them from having the opportunity to do anything outside the connection. If that makes sense. Um, and this receipts card, because this receipts card to me tells me that this is a queen that they keep on top of it by literally asking for proof, for receipts. So this is so specific. Um, so if this king were to gas up, if this king were to um, get gas for their car, this queen will demand that receipt, that proof. I feel like this queen takes time to pour over bills, to pour over expenses. It's like, when you lose control, well, when you lose the general control of your life in the way that this queen has, you try to keep any semblance of control that you can in other ways. And I feel like this queen, in their actions, they are being very, it's not frugality, it's not because they're trying to save money or anything like that. It's more of, let me limit this king's ability to spend, and that way I know they're not doing anything. That way I know they're not spending for anyone, for anything. It's a conscious limiting that they're doing, and they really do commit to the action of keeping track of everything, right? The gas thing was just like an additional to that, but this king is very limited in their movements because this is the way that this queen is dealing with the situation. Now, I'm not here to tell you if that's right or wrong. I'm only explaining the situation and potentially, what the thoughts, feelings, and intentions and actions are. Um, I just wanted to make that clear. Because, obviously when I say all those things, it comes off very negative for this queen because nobody wants to be controlled in that way. But then again, if we look at it from this Queen of Pentacles perspective, they do feel they have lost so much that if they can save anything in any little way, then they'll do that. And to them, trying to limit this king in what they do saves them from further pain, from further potential pain. So that's really how I'm getting this for this Queen of Pentacles. That was specific. So if that resonated, then you'll know if it's you. But that's what I'm getting for this Queen of Pentacles at this time. And I do want to get guidance here. I wish I could pre-pick the guidance, but the guidance really depends on what I see in the reading. And I feel like for this queen, I'm going to use this deck. So I'm sorry if I'm like shooting in and out of the frame of the camera. Please bear with me. Let me use this deck. Okay. And compassion. Empowerment. You know, I like that I chose this deck because I can see the message already very clearly. Peace and dreams. Okay. So this is the guidance for this queen. Okay. So here's the thing. You know, the guidance for this Queen of Pentacles. Sorry. um, the ultimate goal here really is to achieve peace in the connection. I mean, that's what they really want. They want things to go back to the way they were. They wish it would go back to the way they were. You know, this queen needs a reminder that, okay, let's get real here. This is a Queen of Pentacles that is in a long-term commitment or married to this king. So in essence, they are entitled to certain actions, certain feelings, and certain thoughts. Um, and to assert themselves in this way and how they're doing things, um, I think this queen is needing to realize they don't have to assert this level of control. They don't have. It's like the universe wants to say, you're more empowered than that. You're stronger than that. Obviously, the Queen of Pentacles won't feel that way when they feel like everything's been taken and they can only hold on to so much. But it's in that thought of freeing themselves from limiting, because ideally we don't want to have to force people to feel a certain way, to do certain things. We want these things to naturally be done towards us. But what this queen has been doing is they have been forcing things to happen. And understandably so, because without the force, I'm sure this king would drift away even more. Okay? Remember, if something is yours, it's yours. You never lose it. It's not, you don't have to chase it because it's yours. So if something is lost, then not that it was never meant to be yours, but maybe it is no longer yours. And I feel like the universe wants to give this Queen of Pentacles this feeling of empowerment that they are much stronger than this situation they're limiting themselves to. At the same time, I do want to say that this queen, you know, with the compassion card, it's like they're going through a tough time. It's a difficult period for them. And they are entitled to compassion. They are entitled to that security, to that care, to that love. However, if it is no longer wanting to be freely given to us, right? That's where the empowerment comes in. And then that is how you eventually achieve peace. Peace is acceptance as well. So it's like a flow of progressive healing. That's ideally the guidance for this Queen of Pentacles. But to be honest, I don't think this Queen of Pentacles is going to see this energy in the near future because they're just struggling to keep it together the way that they're doing it now, right? But if this reading has a bearing on any of you that are Queen of Pentacles, hopefully this guidance helps you to realize these things. If not now, at least in the future. So that's kind of what I have for this Queen of Pentacles. Okay, now we're on to the Queen of Cups. Okay, Queen of Cups / Nine of Pentacles if you are following the King series. And so we're going to get their thoughts, their feelings, and then intentions and actions. This Queen of Cups, Nine of Pentacles. Okay. So thoughts, Queen of Cups and their thoughts. Four of Pentacles in their thoughts, okay? What about their feelings? King of Wands in their feelings. In reverse. Intentions, actions. Ten of Cups in their intentions and actions, okay? Bottom of the deck, still the Seven of Swords. Okay, interesting. Thoughts for the Queen of Cups, Nine of Pentacles, and we have the Four of Pentacles. We have the Nine of Pentacles in reverse, the Hierophant, and the Page of Cups. Okay. There's that Nine of Pentacles in reverse. So in their thoughts, why does it feel like everyone is holding on by a thread? The King, the Queen of Pentacles, now this Queen of Cups. I'm also getting the same energy, like they're holding on by a thread. It's this thing where in their thoughts, they are trying to stick to what they believe. They are trying to... It's hard because I feel like they believe, but then there's probably some doubt with it. So it's hard to really hold on to something when there's doubt, right? But they are trying their best. It's like, it's not a giving up energy, but it's like, I don't know what to do anymore. I don't know. I don't know what to do anymore. So if this is what it is, then this is what it is. That's kind of what I'm getting. What about their feelings? Why do we have a King of Wands in their feelings? Oh gosh, okay. Okay. King of Wands. Their feelings, King of Wands. Okay, so the King of Wands is in reverse. Obviously, this is the King in reverse. And with the Wand energy, obviously it's because in their feelings, this Queen of Cups feels like they're no longer interested in me. They no longer want me. They no longer desire me. I feel like this Queen of Cups has stuck their mind on the idea that because this king has left them, because this king has abandoned them, that is enough proof for this Queen of Cups to believe that this king no longer has interest, no longer has passion for them. Because if they're not trying, if they're not taking action, then they must not want me anymore. So that's potentially what this Queen of Cups is feeling at this time. This king no longer wants me. And I think that really supports what we were talking about earlier with their thoughts, where that's why this Queen of Cups is just holding on to that idea of, okay, if this is how it is, then I guess this is how it is. What about their intentions and actions? King of Cups with the Ten of Cups. Intentions and actions. Huh. So, right? You know, the Ten of Cups to me is always the card of happily ever after. Like, that's the dream, that's the destination. Um, and in this Queen of Cups' energy, you know, for their intentions and actions, that means that they want to achieve this. They want to achieve the Ten of Cups. They want to have the happily ever after, right? But I feel like this queen is thinking, how can I achieve that if I'm in separation from this king who makes me feel like I can have this Ten of Cups? How can that be the destination? How can that be the happily ever after if this king no longer loves me, no longer wants me? Okay? This is how this Queen of Cups is potentially, you know, feeling, and it leads to their intention and action. And I do want to say that this Queen of Cups, even with this realization that they've had, that justice being here means that there is trust that what is meant to be will be, that the right happily ever after will happen, whether or not it is with this king. But it just feels like a sense of, but how can it be that without this king, right? So that's kind of what I have for this Queen of Cups in their energy. Let's take a look further um, in their thoughts. Lost, ghosted, blocked. You know, I really feel like this Queen of Cups feels very cut off from this king. That all this king, you know, has been displaying to this Queen of Cups is the energy of not having any more interest or feelings. And so in their thoughts, you know, this Queen of Cups, they constantly think about how they're blocked off, how maybe there's no communication, how this king has left them. So they think about that a lot. And because of that, it leads their mind to think that that's the situation at hand. There's not anything I can do about it. I don't feel empowered enough to really do anything about the situation. So in essence, they also hold back. Okay. What about their feelings? Magnetic. So that talks about an unexplainable pull, can't resist. You know, I feel like this Queen of Cups, they want to also show that kind of energy that they feel this king is showing them, where it's like, they're not interested in me, they don't love me. Okay, then I'm not interested in them, I don't love them. But it's undeniable the magnetic pull that they have. They still feel what they feel, and they still have the interest that they have. And I feel like in the past, this king probably showed them a lot of passion or a lot of interest, maybe even feelings. And now that that's gone, it just makes a void in this Queen of Cups that they're, again, hanging on by a thread. They're just trying to deal with it as best as possible, you know? What about in their intentions and actions? Oh my. Okay. I don't know if I can show that. Desire, lust, chemistry, you know what I mean? Um, I feel like if it's not an action, and maybe it's just an intention, it's not necessarily that they'll take action towards it, but I feel like they just want to know, does this king still have interest in them? Or does this king still have passion for them, right? Or like, are they thinking about me the way that I think about them? Are they lusting for me, the way that I lust for them. Like that's how this is coming off. It's like they want to have that idea, that knowledge that that's existing, because in the current time it feels like no, they don't have interest, they don't have feelings, they don't want me. That's what I'm really hearing, like they don't want me. Hmm. So I feel like that's the Queen of Cups, Nine of Pentacles energy at this time. All of these, energies are just barely holding on in their own different ways, obviously. Okay, so that's the situation at hand, and I want to get guidance. I'm looking at all my decks and thinking which one should I use. I think I'm going to use this one, and this is more of an empowering oracle deck. So let me see. I have one card, two cards, one more, and the last card. Okay. Okay. So the first, well, let me say the numbers here: 32 and 45. 5 could be significant if 30 castle. So it's time for healing, not war. Number 2, you deserve sugar, not salt. I'm sorry if that's not clear. Number 45, throne. Your potential is endless. Bottom of the deck, we have 5 stars. And this is, you can manifest your every wish. I feel like the universe at this time is trying to encourage this Queen of Cups that the best way they can deal with the situation is what they have at hand, right? And that's why it's a time for healing, not war. This Queen of Cups, they only battle themselves the more that they try to convince themselves of this negativity that they have, where this king doesn't love them, this king doesn't want them. They're just increasing a pattern, and it seems like a pattern of abandonment that they've had in the past. It's like they're just increasing or heightening the belief that they are somebody that is always abandoned or is always left behind. Okay, that's why the encouragement is to heal, because if you are this Queen of Cups, you're not at war with anyone. I'm so sorry, my stomach is growling. You guys might have heard that. Yeah, so this Queen of Cups, it's more of a battle of self, because how can we feel good about ourselves if we want to believe that people can't love us, that people don't want us? How can we feel good about ourselves? Everybody deserves sugar, not salt. It's just sometimes the salt is necessary. It adds flavor, right? And so, just like in life, these experiences add flavor. But you shouldn't lose the positivity, or the shouldn't lose the idea of the positivity that you have in your life. Meaning, of course, you are someone that is wanted. Of course, you are someone that is not meant to be abandoned. But it's hard to think and feel those things when there's repetitive patterns of that happening, whether that's with different people or one person, right? Grown. This Queen of Cups doesn't realize they have so much. They have so much to do, so much to give. Their potential is endless because their energy is bountiful. It's just right now they're in a state of this lack thinking. And I think that's why all of the encouragement is just kind of trying to remind them, this is a bad experience, it's a bad time, but none of it means or sums up to who you are and to what your character is. right? It's hard to see that though when you're actually steeped in all of this energy. But that's the reminder here that the universe has, okay? I want to believe that this card is actually in support of the Ten of Cups, because when it comes down to it, this Queen of Cups just wants to achieve their happily ever after. I mean, they have identified that happily ever after to be with their King of Cups. But even with that, even though the situation is the way that it is, this Queen of Cups is being reminded you can still manifest the Ten of Cups. Is it necessarily the way that you want it to be or who you want it to be with? Maybe not, maybe so. But it's the energy of, yes, it can be achieved. It's just all of these are just like reminders for this queen, because sometimes people don't want guidance. Sometimes people just want to say what they feel and what they think, and then they just want to be left alone, right? And there's a need sometimes to just give reminders, but not necessarily give guidance to tell a person what to do. I feel like that's what's happening here. Like it's more of like, hey, just remember this, just remember that, but not necessarily the universe saying, hey, this is what you're supposed to do and this is what you're supposed to do. So I feel like that's how this guidance is going for this Queen of Cups, Nine of Pentacles. Um, so that's what I have, and that sums up the King Series energy check in. I hope if you watched one or all three, that whether you're a cross watcher or you're one of these characters, that you got the guidance that you needed. But to always please keep in mind that this is a collective reading, and that as long as you pick up the guidance or a certain lesson, then we've done our job, we've done the work, and hopefully you leave this reading in a more encouraging energy. So there we go, till next week.